Well, Aristotle said that 95% of everything you do is the result of habit. So the rule is form good habits and make them your masters, rather than allowing bad habits to form. In fact, the other rule says this, is that good habits are hard to form, but easy to live with. Bad habits are easy to form, but hard to live with.
Wanted to ask you, how do you overcome the fears and doubts?
I mean, look, the fears and doubts are a part of it. Can I be honest with you? Everything I've ever done started with a fear. My walking out on stage, that starts with the fear. When Oprah came and got me for this life class, I told her, I said, boy, this is like a stand-up appearance for me. I'm back there sweating, I don't want to talk to nobody. I have to overcome fear all the time. When I wrote my book, I was afraid. When they told me we wanted you to be a game show host, I'd never done that, I was afraid. When they said, we want you to do a talk show, I was afraid. I have to overcome fear all the time. But the best way for me to overcome fear is the dream has to be bigger than the fear. That's the only way you turn around and run at it. I just want something so great. I aim for stuff so big that the dream is bigger than the fear. Look at it like this, man. If you don't ever go for this, would it be better for you to face the fear or just deal with the fact that you just never gave it a shot?
Oh, face it, definitely.
See, that's what the dream. And I saw you with your tie on. I know that makeup mirror, that's backstage somewhere in a dressing room. Somebody's hiring guys like you. There's no such thing as too old. I'm 57. If I went back out there, I'd get hired tomorrow as a stand-up. If you're funny, there's a marketplace for you. Now, look, you got to
start where you are, right?
Just
start where you are.
I was homeless for 2.5 years. And the problem with most of you never felt no pain before. Y'all spoiled. Y'all spoiled. Some of y'all spoiled. Just bottom line. Your parents have done everything for you. You never had to do nothing for yourself. You're spoiled. We're going to keep it real tonight. Some of you are spoiled brats. Every time you ever got in trouble, somebody in your house got you out of it. Every time you've done something you're not supposed to do, people say, Eric, your mother's a tyrant. You're right. She kicked me out. You're right. She's mean, but she developed a man because she put me out there and said, you're going to have to grow up. And some of you have never learned to grow up. And so every time something get hard, you quit, you call mama. I dare you to take a little pain. I dare you. I dare you not to go home. Somebody said, I don't go home, I feel bad. Go through it. You ain't gonna die. At the end of pain is success. You're not gonna die because you're feeling a little pain. I'm not eating like I eat at home. That's why you're about to go to the next level, because if you keep eating like you ate at home, you'll keep being a boy or a girl. It's time to become man, woman. So don't worry about a little pain. My greatest asset is I was homeless, so I can't feel a whole lot of pain. I've already been alone. There's not a whole lot of hurt I can feel on a little paper, on a little test. So I leave you, listen to me. We have gotten to a point where it's midterms and we're moving forward. The days of you getting money, I'm not saying we quitting, but I'm saying the day has got to go from external to internal. You have to give it everything you got. No more TV, no more parties, no more playing. If you don't have a 4.0, what you need to be doing is studying. Get off the phone. I'm sorry, I'm not available until the end of this year. No, I'm for real. You reached the right number, but you called me at the wrong time. Call me back January 1st. I'm about to get busy now. Huh? I want you to have a countdown of your own and say when the countdown is over, we're the real, watch me, because when I was homeless, I knew something was wrong. I knew that wasn't the best of me. And one day I said, will the real Eric Thomas please stand up? Will the real Eric Thomas please stand up? Stop being this high school dropout. Stop giving up. Stop sleeping on the street. Stop walking up and down Fecal Avenue like you ain't got nothing, and get your GED. Stop being afraid to take a test. Stop being afraid to go to college because your daddy didn't go and your mama didn't go. Stop being afraid and be the best Eric Thomas you can be. But listen to me, it's going to be hard. It took me 12 years to get a 4-year degree, but I got it. And guess what? On a degree, it don't have dates. So if it took you 4 and it took me 12, it don't show up nowhere. But I'm exactly where I wanted to be because I realized I got to commit my very being to this thing. I gotta breathe it, I gotta eat it, I gotta sleep it. And until you get there, you'll never be successful in life. But once you get there, I guarantee you, the world is yours. So work hard and you can have whatever it is you want. Thank you guys for your time.
And I want to tell young people, when most people complain, where the opportunity is. People start to complain, some people complain, people start to change themselves, change others. Where the opportunity is where the complaints are. Where the trouble, where is the opportunity. And I always believe that.
Wanting that price.
So very quickly, 6 needs, let me tell you what they are. First one, certainty. Now these are not goals or desires, these are universal. Everyone needs certainty that they can avoid pain and at least be comfortable. Now how do you get it? Control everybody, develop a skill, give up, smoke a cigarette. And if you got totally certain, ironically, even though we all need that, like if you're not certain about your health or your children or money, you don't think about much more. You're not sure the ceiling's gonna hold up, you're gonna listen to any speaker. But while we go for certainty differently, if we get total certainty, we get what? What do you feel if you're certain? You know what's gonna happen, when it's gonna happen, how it's gonna happen, what would you feel? Bored out of your mind. So God, in her infinite wisdom, gave us a second human need, which is uncertainty. We need variety. We need surprise. How many of you here love surprises? Say aye. You like the surprises you want. The ones you don't want, you call problems, but you need them. So variety is important. Have you ever rented a video or a film that you've already seen? Who's done this? Why are you doing it? You're certain it's good because you read it before, saw it before, but you're hoping it's been long enough you've forgotten enough there's variety. Third human need, critical, significance. We all need to feel important, special, unique. You can get it by making more money. You can do it by being more spiritual. You can do it by getting yourself in a situation where you put more tattoos and earrings in places humans don't want to know. Whatever it takes. The fastest way to do this, if you have no background, no culture, no belief in resources or resourcefulness, is violence. If I put a gun to your head and I live in the hood, instantly I'm significant. 0 to 10, how high? 10. How certain am I you're going to respond to me? 10. How much uncertainty? Who knows what's gonna happen next? Kind of exciting, like climbing up into a cave and doing that stuff all the way down there. Total variety and uncertainty. And it's significant, isn't it? So you're willing to risk your life for it. So that's why violence has always been around and will be around unless we have a consciousness change as a species. Now you can get significance a million ways, but to be significant, you gotta be unique and different. Here's what we really need. Connection and love, fourth need. We all want it. Most people settle for connection because love's too scary. Don't want to get hurt. Who here has ever been hurt in an intimate relationship? Say aye. And you're gonna get hurt again. Aren't you glad you came to this positive visit? But here's what's true, we need it. We can do it through intimacy, through friendship, through prayer, through walking in nature. If nothing else works for you, get a dog. Don't get a cat, get a dog, because if you leave for 2 minutes, it's like you've been gone for 6 months when you show back up again 5 minutes later, right? Now these first 4 needs, every human finds a way to meet. Even if you lie to yourself, even if you have split personalities. But the last 2 needs, the first 4 needs are called the needs of the personality, is what I call it. The last 2 are the needs of the spirit. And this is where fulfillment comes. You won't get fulfillment from the first 4. You'll figure a way, smoke, drink, do whatever, meet the first 4. But the last 2, number 5, you must grow. We all know the answer here. If you don't grow, you what? If a relationship's not growing, if a business is not growing, if you're not growing, it doesn't matter how much money you have, how many friends you have, how many people love you, you feel like hell. And the reason we grow, I believe, is so we have something to give of value. Because the 6th need is to contribute beyond ourselves. Because we all know, corny as it sounds, the secret to living is giving. We all know life's not about me, it's about we. This culture knows that, this room knows that. And it's exciting. When you see Nicholas up here talking about his $100 computer, the most passionate, exciting thing is here's a genius, but he's got a calling now. You can feel the difference in him, and it's beautiful. And that calling can touch other people. In my own life, my life was touched because when I was 11 years old, Thanksgiving, no money, no food, and we're not gonna starve, but my father was totally messed up. My mom was letting him know how bad he messed up. And somebody came to the door and delivered food. My father made 3 decisions. I know what they were briefly. His focus was, this is charity. What does it mean? I'm worthless. What I gotta do? Leave my family, which he did. The time, one of the most painful experiences of life. My 3 decisions gave me a different path. I said, focus on, there's food, what a concept. You know? Second, but this is what changed my life. This is what shaped me as a human being. Somebody's gift, I don't even know who it is. They're not asking for us, giving our family food, looking out for us. It made me believe this. What does it mean? That strangers care. And what that made me decide is strangers care about me and my family, I care about them. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna do something to make a difference. So when I was 17, I went out one day on Thanksgiving. It was my target for years, have enough money to feed 2 families. Most fun thing I ever did in my life, most moving. Then next year I did 4, and I didn't tell anybody what I was doing. Next year, 8. I wasn't doing it for brownie points, but after 8, I thought I could use some help. So sure enough, I went out, and what did I do? I got my friends involved, and I grew companies, and then I got 11 companies, and I built a foundation. Now, 18 years later, I'm proud to tell you, last year we fed 2 million people in 35 countries through our foundation, all during the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, in all the different countries around the world. Isn't that fantastic?
Now, before I leave, I want you to do these 2 things. Number 1, right now, acknowledge that you have a humor being within you. Number 2, I want you to make it a part of who you are. And you do this by every day allowing yourself to see the humor and the laughter that is around you. The more you do this, the more it becomes a part of who you are. I want to tell you something. If you say you can't find something to laugh at, you're not looking. You want something real funny to laugh at? Try this first thing in the morning. Look at yourself first thing in the morning. No, really, don't even get dressed. Look into a full-length mirror, butt crack naked, and go, I'm ready to go. How many married people out there? Married people? Come on. Oh, yeah, there's humor there. There's humor there. As a matter of fact, I think a sense of humor is the key to a healthy marriage. But if you were to read Oprah Magazine would tell you that the key to a healthy marriage is to simply understand your partner. Are you kidding me? Have you ever tried to do that? Understand your partner, man or woman? Folks, listen to me. You will never, ever be able to understand your partner. The only thing that you have to understand about your partner is that there are things about your partner that you will never understand. And if you can understand that, you will have a better understanding. You understand? I was married to my wife for over 30 years. To this day, I could never understand why I had to get in trouble for dreams that she had. How many people have children? Children out there? They're the funniest people on the face of the planet. Why do we not take advantage of this? One of the funniest things about kids is watch how your kids grow up to be just like you. My son thinks he's a comedian. Now, he's really funny, but when he was in elementary school, we had a problem. Because he was getting in trouble. He was disrupting the class. He didn't know when to stop. He kept thinking he was on stage performing. One time he came home from school. I said, hey, how was school? He said, good crowd, good crowd. I said, don't get smart with me. He said, don't worry, I don't want to confuse you. He even does impressions. First day of school, the teacher said, so young man, what's your name? And he went, well, what's it to you, lady? The principal gave me a call the next day and said, Mr. Rizzo, we have another problem. Now your son thinks he's Jack Nicholson. And I'm like, what the hell you want me to do? How many people go to a gym? How many people work out, go to the gym? Oh, man, I'll tell you what. If you don't, get a membership to a gym. Don't even work out. Just sit there and laugh. There's so many funny people there. There's a gym where I work out on Long Island, and there's a bodybuilder that comes in there all the time, and this guy has a perfect body. He's like 6'5", 250 pounds. He's like maybe 27 years old, and when he works out, he's by himself. He never talks to anybody, and he has the headphones, you know, in his, and you can hear his music blasting as he's doing it, and he's like a solid rock. But the thing that cracks me up is that every time he lifts something, I'm not kidding you, he sounds like the lion from The Wizard of Oz. You know, and like if he's curling, you'll hear him go. And when he does this, my friends give me the cue. That's my cue. So when he goes on the bench press and he can't see me, and he's bench pressing a lot of weight, he's going, and I'm in back of him going, I can't lift all that weight. I'm gonna hate myself. Yeah, you laugh. If he ever finds out, it'd probably be bench pressing me. So, folks, here's my point. I am not claiming here that your humor being is a cure-all for all of your problems. But what I am saying is that your humor being can place you at the helm to steer the course of your life with equanimity when the storms of misfortune, change, and negativity are pouring down on you. It's one of the greatest gifts that was ever given you. What good is a gift if you don't open?
What you will realize is that you are greater than your circumstances, that you don't have to go through life being a victim. As Jack indicated, I was born in Miami, Florida, in an area called Liberty City, in an abandoned building on a hard linoleum floor with my twin brother. We were 6 weeks of age. We were adopted. When I was in 5th grade, I was identified as EMR, labeled educable, mentally retarded, put back from the 5th grade into the 4th grade, and stayed in that category until I got out of high school. I don't have any college training, But I met a high school teacher who one day changed my life. I was waiting on another student, and when he came in, he said to me, "Young man, go to the board and write what I'm about to tell you." And I said, I can't do that, sir. He said, "Why not?" I said, "I'm not one of your students." He said, "It doesn't matter. Follow my directions now." I said, "I can't do that, sir." He said, "Why not?" I said, "Because I'm educable mentally retarded." And he came from behind his desk and he looked at me. He said, "Don't ever say that again. Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality."
Why did you call it Alibaba?
Alibaba? Well, when I started, I think internet is global. We should have a global name. And a name that, interesting, like at that time, the best name is Yahoo, right? So I've been thinking for many days, suddenly Alibaba is a good name. So I was happened to be in San Francisco that day. I have a lunch and the waitress come. I asked her, "Do you know about Alibaba?" She said, "Yes." I said, "What is Alibaba?" She said, "Open Sesame." Good. So I went on the street, asked about 10, 20 people. They all know about Alibaba, 40 Thieves, and Open Sesame. And I think this is a good name. And start with A. Whatever you talk about, Alibaba is always top.
My biological mother found out later that my mother had never graduated from college and that my father had never graduated from high school. She refused to sign the final adoption papers. She only relented a few months later when my parents promised that I would go to college. This was the start in my life. And 17 years later, I did go to college. But I naively chose a college that was almost as expensive as Stanford. And all of my working class parents' savings were being spent on my college tuition. After 6 months, I couldn't see the value in it. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and no idea how college was going to help me figure it out. And here I was, spending all of the money my parents had saved their entire life. So I decided to drop out and trust that it would all work out okay. It was pretty scary at the time, but looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. The minute I dropped out, I could stop taking the required classes that didn't interest me and begin dropping in on the ones that looked far more interesting. It wasn't all romantic. I didn't have a dorm room, so I slept on the floor in friends' rooms. I returned Coke bottles for the 5-cent deposits to buy food with. And I would walk the 7 miles across town every Sunday night to get one good meal a week at the Hare Krishna temple. I loved it. And much of what I stumbled into by following my curiosity and intuition turned out to be priceless later on. Let me give you one example. Reed College at that time offered perhaps the best calligraphy instruction in the country. Throughout the campus, every poster, every label on every drawer was beautifully hand calligraphed. Because I had dropped out and didn't have to take the normal classes, I decided to take a calligraphy class to learn how to do this. I learned about serif and sans serif typefaces, about varying the amount of space between different letter combinations, about what makes great typography great. It was beautiful, historical, artistically subtle in a way that science can't capture, and I found it fascinating. None of this had even a hope of any practical application in my life. But 10 years later, when we were designing the first Macintosh computer, it all came back to me. And we designed it all into the Mac. It was the first computer with beautiful typography. If I had never dropped in on that single course in college, the Mac would have never had multiple typefaces or proportionally spaced fonts. And since Windows just copied the Mac, it's likely that no personal computer would have them. If I had never dropped out, I would have never dropped in on that calligraphy class, and personal computers might not have the wonderful typography that they do. Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later. Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path, and that will make all the difference.
The problem with most people is that they're playing the world's most unrewarding game, and the name of the game is follow the follower. There's a story about a small town in which there was a jewelry store, and like all jewelry stores, or most jewelry stores at least, he had a big clock in his window. And every morning for years he'd noticed a working man stop, adjust his pocket watch to the same time as the clock in the window. He'd been doing this for many years, and one morning the jeweler was out in front sweeping a sidewalk, and so he asked the man, he said, "Tell me, why do you adjust your watch to my big clock every morning? I've noticed you're doing that for years." The man said, "Well, I'm the foreman down at the big plant." He said, "I want to make sure my watch is correct because I blow the quitting whistle every night at 5 o'clock. The jeweler looked at him rather strangely for a minute, and he said, well, that's funny." He said, "I've been setting that big clock in the window by that quitting whistle all these years." A very logical thing, but they could have been off 6 months. It was a case of a person just going along with what he thought to be correct without checking his references. So I want to suggest that from now on out, at least we do that we check our references and ask ourselves, are the people I'm following going?
The final key to living without limits is concentration. If you have an 8-hour workday, how many hours of work do you truly get done? Is it 8, 7, 5? Studies show that the average worker only gets 3 hours of productive work done each day. And that's because concentration has become increasingly difficult in our modern society. Developing concentration skills means having the self-discipline to force yourself to focus single-mindedly on one thing, the most important thing, and stick with it until it's complete. Try thinking of this in these terms. Let's say that you work on a sales team and you're paid by the number of clients you speak with per hour. You maintain concentration throughout the day and speak to 100 people every day. Meanwhile, your co-workers have a hard time focusing and they only speak to 30 people a day. Who is your boss going to start trusting with more responsibilities and rewarding with bigger paychecks? By working to develop concentration, you will become a diligent worker who is able to conquer any task or goal that is set in your path. Learning to have clarity and competence and concentration, the big C's, will make a true difference in your life. As you become excellent in these 3 key areas, you'll be able to push past the limits and achieve your goals so you can live the life you want to live.
We believe the Coke company different from the Wall Street. We believe customer number 1, employee number 2, shareholder number 3.
Customer 1, employee 2, shareholder
number
3.
3. Yeah, again, this is my religion. It's the customer that pay us the money. It's the employees that drive the innovation. It's the shareholder, and the shareholder always say, I remember the day before we IPO, and a lot of people say, Jack, can I keep up the shares? We were long-term shareholders. But when the crisis came, these guys run as soon as,
they ran away.
They ran away. My people stayed, customers stayed.